You're watching Gotta Be Real movie reviews with Thommi and Jules.
Thommi and Jules.
And we're about to review Back to Black, which is about Amy Winehouse.
Yes, I love her voice. Love her voice. So let's talk about 2 hours and 2 minutes. Let's talk about who is in Rated R. Let's talk about who is in Back to Black.
So Amy's played by Marissa Abella, and she was also in Barbie as Teen Talk Barbie.
Oh, okay.
Eddie Marsan plays Mitch. I recognize him. You'll recognize him from Ray Donovan. That's a really good show. If you haven't seen it, you might want to check it out. And Deadpool 2, he plays the professor.
Okay.
Jack O'Connell plays Blake Fielder Civil. He was in Ferrari, and I remember him from Skins.
Is that a show?
Yeah, that was a show that was in Britain, right?
Okay.
He played James Cook, aka Cook. And then they try to bring it to America and just like basically take the same script and put it in America on
in
MTV.
English?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's English because they're British.
Without the accent.
Yeah, they try to redo it, and it was just okay. It kind of, but the one in the original one lasted several seasons, but the one in America, I don't remember. It might have went the full thing, but it wasn't as good. And Leslie Manville plays Cynthia, her grandmother.
So what's going on in Back to Black? Because I've seen the previews for this, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be like, Ray or, Freddie Mercury or any of those. It didn't quite strike me as hard. So let's go ahead and tell us what the summary is.
I was waiting for it too, and then, A celebration of the most iconic and much missed homegrown star of the 21st century, Back to Black tells the extraordinary tale of Amy Winehouse, painting a vivid, vibrant picture of the Camden streets she called home and capturing the struggles of global fame. Back to Black honors Amy's artistry, wit, and honesty, as well as trying to understand her demons. An unflinching look at the modern celebrity machine and a powerful tribute to a once-in-a-generation talent. I disagree, homeboy. I disagree a little bit with this.
You said disagree, homeboy. I disagree with him,
they're talking about trying to understand her demons. Let's get into it. This movie, I was really hoping that this would be like a true biography, maybe show her from when she was a kid or something, and how she started singing, and maybe find her voice, and why she started becoming an alcoholic in the first place. They didn't even touch on the fact, they kind of touched on the fact of her bulimia, but barely. I
don't even remember anything about no bulimia.
See, no, her friend was like, she was throwing up in the toilet. They showed her throw up in the toilet one time, and her friend was like, I'm trying to get some sleep when she's playing the music loud and throwing up. They didn't really touch on that too much. We lived through when Amy was alive because I
liked her music. I loved her voice.
I loved her voice. I loved her music. We saw her in the tabloids. We saw them talking about her on the news and all this stuff. And they were, I saw biographies.
I was wondering how she got started because I think with Ray and Queen with Freddie Mercury,
right?
I think they've spoiled us to biographies now because yeah. So now because when we watched the one with who's the one that sings Yellow Brick Road?
The Beatles?
No.
Yellow Brick Road?
No. Oh gosh, how can I forget his name? Gosh, I can't forget his name. But anyways, that was another biography that they did of him.
Oh, Elton John.
Yes, I don't know why that's what I knew was some John. It couldn't come to me, but remember they did one on him as well.
Right.
For this one, like you said, there was some information I was missing. If the movie's going to be over 2 hours, they should have been able to dabble a little bit more on some of the other things that happened in her life, and it didn't hit.
They skimmed over stuff.
Yeah,
it starts when
very
she's
much.
18. And it goes to when she dies at the age of 27. They already show her singing in the clubs, but we don't, again.
Where did she start? Did she start in school or choir or church or what? We didn't get any of that backstory for it to be two hours. Yeah. And it sounded like, and maybe let me know if you read this anywhere, they mix it up as far as her singing and then Amy Winehouse's actual music playing.
I think from what I read and from what I saw on other interviews, this young lady did all the singing.
What?
I know. She
sounded just like her.
Sounded just like her. Because I'm sitting there like, how could they get Amy's voice right there?
I was wondering about that like
Girl.
what how the casting was going to go
she
to
was
cast
good.
her. But if she did that, like the one we know the best, try to make me go to rehab.
Okay.
I said,
so here
that
on my
sounded
notes,
like
it
her.
says Marissa Abela had done most of the singing. So there was occasions, I guess, where they played Amy's tracks. Had done most of the singing in the film herself. She trained extensively to mimic Amy Winehouse's vocals.
And I could hear that.
Yeah.
But I didn't always
She was
get
very
it.
good.
No, she some of it,
You know
but
why
I could
you
still
didn't get
tell
it?
the difference.
This is why I didn't get it. I didn't get it because and Marissa even says that she's like, you know, I know I'm doing a biography and I had to get the voice down, and it's more of a feeling than a pure mimic because Marissa is more with the head moving.
And she did the physical.
Rehab,
She did
but
the physical attributes.
Amy didn't really do a lot of. They
Hand
tried to
movement.
make me go to. Amy was more in the hips than the head like this, and that kind of threw me a little bit because Marissa was constantly trying to make me go to rehab.
I said no,
and I'm like, Amy didn't really do that, and so I'm going home, and even in the theater, I was the only one in there, so I'm like kind of googling stuff. And I'm like, as soon as I get home, I'm like, and my boyfriend movie partner was like, why are you just saw the movie, why are you Googling? I'm like, I need to compare what I just saw in the movie with what is in reality.
Yeah, because some of this stuff I had no idea, so we got some fun notes to tell us about a little bit of this.
Yeah, so scenes were filmed at Ronnie Scott's Jazz Club at 47th Frith Street, Soho, London, England.
Thank you for that whole address.
I know.
Okay,
they get the
y'all.
whole thing. I'm
not necessary, but okay.
Doing the zip code and all that. And outside Winehouse's first flat in Camden Town and at Primrose Hill, London. In February, scenes were filmed inside the Metropolis Studios in Chiswick, London.
Okay. I could tell it wasn't here, so yeah.
Following the death of Winehouse on July 23rd, 2011, several filmmakers attempted to create biopic projects, but none of them progressed. By 2022, Studio Canal UK moved forward with production, and filming took place in London from January to April 2023.
Okay, so they got this put up pretty fast after it.
Yeah, here's the movie changes. This is what irritates me when you're doing a biography. I like for you to keep the stuff like as it is.
In the right era.
In the right
as
era.
As far as what the music, the stuff they're wearing, the buildings.
This is not like, I mean, you're calling it a biography. Like, you're not making a movie that's like based off of Amy's life. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, call it something else if it ain't about her life, because stuff happened in a certain order and I needed you to do that and y'all didn't. Okay, so Winehouse actually created the beehive hairstyle look as a 17-year-old alongside hairstylist Tracy Cahoon.
Now, is that Tracy is the one from the musical? Was it not Hair? There's another one, but I remember they wore those big beehive hairstyles a lot. But I liked her beehive on her. Yeah. It was cute.
In the movie, they show her grandmother doing that with her, but that's not true.
Her grandma didn't actually do her hair?
No.
Okay. It's a little, dramatics.
Yeah.
I'll toss that in there.
Blake Filder-Civil didn't introduce her to the Shangri-Las. He did introduce her to crack and heroin.
See, I didn't know that. I thought it was just the alcohol.
Yeah.
She
was already an alcoholic before she met him. Filder-Civil has admitted several times over the years that he turned Winehouse onto crack and heroin. In the movie, she turns to hard drugs on her own while dealing with the grief of her mother's death and the tumult of her relationship with Filder-Civil. See, this is like an opposite of Whitney and Bobby.
Yeah,
Bobby was already an alcoholic when he met Whitney. Whitney was already doing drugs, and she turned him. He started doing drugs because he's with her.
And people assumed it was him that bought it to her, but she was already on it beforehand. They would not let that go,
and they keep thinking that, even though she has said with her own mouth, like several times, like, he didn't. So this is like a flip of that.
And I like it in here, the relationship she had with her dad. It reminds me of mine's, being really close with your dad.
Right.
And then her dad was trying to help her let's get back into rehab, let's do this, and she didn't want to go, and she actually makes a song about it.
Right.
They tried to make me go to rehab. I said no, I don't have the time, but if my daddy thinks I'm fine. So her dad just loved her to pieces. They just had I did enjoy their relationship a lot.
But you would almost think that this girl don't have no friends. She just got her dad and Blake
and the boy and the guy. Well,
other than the boyfriend she had prior to Blake, it just seemed like that.
But think about her lifestyle. You know what I mean? But
she had,
unfortunately, with musicians
with her lifestyle,
and stuff,
she said that she writes her songs from her life. That's why she didn't want to keep doing all the promo.
She did some remakes. She did do some remakes that I like.
Yeah.
So, okay.
But she, she did some remakes, but the songs that she wrote originally from herself, she got that from life. Remember, because she was like, I don't want to. I'm not a Spice Girl. You can't turn me into a Spice Girl. And
she was not that to that.
She's like, I have to live life. That's how I write my songs.
And she had her own style. She reminds me a bit of Lady Gaga. Just by the way they do their own thing. I'm wearing this. Is how, I don't care what nobody else is doing. This is my thing. And that was her signature.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Amy and Blake separated in 2009. The movie shows their breakup in 2007 or 2008. Now, why couldn't you keep that 2009 movie?
I don't see what the big deal was.
Amy's real-life Glastonbury set was even more chaotic than depicted. Also, it took place after the Grammys. We know that the Grammys are earlier in the year. Glastonbury was 6/28/2008. She won the Grammy for Album of the Year on February 10th, 2008. Now, why couldn't you keep that the same?
I just don't.
The movie presents these events in reverse order to give her a triumph near the end of her story. We know the story. This is her life. We know.
Yeah, I don't see what the point was.
Thank you. What's the point of that? We know her life. We know the story.
Just to say it. Just to say that you did it.
We just wanted some insight that we didn't know. Like
I just
when
want
she was a
some good
kid
stuff.
and we got none of that. For understandable reasons, Fielder Civil is Winehouse's only love interest to get any significant screen time.
I mean, they don't have to say it like she had multiple men. My goodness.
Well, the last 3 years of Winehouse's life were, she had other boyfriends after him when they got divorced.
Okay, because I don't like the way they make it sound in here like she would just.
Yeah, no, they're just saying she had more boyfriends after. And they listed them too, but I didn't make
like. No,
look, I got a whole page full.
They're not relevant.
I didn't have enough room for that, and that's not relevant.
They're not relevant. But it still made it sound bad the way they worded it. Okay.
The last 3 years of Winehouse's life were a difficult time marked by sad, sloppy concerts, endless tabloid stories of her drug abuse, and a complete lack of any new music. The movie skips over all of this and simply ends at some vague moment in time after she's added white streaks into her hair when she's poring over old photographs at her home. She fires up Leader of the Pack on a jukebox, wipes away a tear, looks down at the Blake tattoo on her chest, and sings a cappella rendition of Tears Dry on Their Own before disappearing up a white staircase. A title card reveals the date of Winehouse's death, but doesn't get into any detail. That's probably for the best. Like, I think if I remember right, like she was losing hair. She went to rehab a couple of times and she really enjoyed it there. She got clean. They do touch on the fact that she really wanted children. One time she was in rehab, there was like kids around and she was really happy where she was.
She wanted to be married.
Yeah. I mean, they could have showed a little bit of that.
She had some aspirations.
None of that. Yeah, she had aspirations.
And she was just so talented.
She was recording. I think she was, if I remember right from the documentary, she was recording some music while she was in this rehab and she was clean and happy and getting well adjusted. Like, we got none of that. It
was such a blanket movie. It's just such a blanket movie. There's so much
over
underneath.
the top of her life, basically.
Yeah, and there's so much more detail. That after 2 hours, come on. If you're gonna make a movie 2 hours, then we need to know some more backstory.
2 hours, we heard a lot of songs.
Yeah,
we know she loves her dad. We know she was really in love with Blake, and we know that she ended up. She was an alcoholic and she was doing some drugs. And we know she died. That's it for 2 hours.
And we already knew all of that before. And I want to get a little bit more deep to stuff that we, like you said, stuff that we didn't know with her. So this one kind of, it's hard to go from watching, Freddie Mercury or, Jamie Foxx play their roles when they're doing biographies. So this one just didn't thrill. It didn't even tickle.
It let me down so bad. I was looking so forward to this. When they first started advertising, I was like, yes.
That's gonna be good.
Right, can't wait. And
it was lackluster. So I'm just going with the very basic 3 clappers here. What about you?
I'm going with a 2.
Wow. Okay.
And IMDb gave it 6.6.
Bad.
Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter, which is the critics, gave it 34%.
Wow.
And the audience score gave it 86%. But maybe these are people that didn't really know. They're just enjoying the music, or
maybe didn't know about her.
Maybe they didn't know about her at the time, because we saw the tablet. Like I said, I felt so sad when I left again, because it's like she died again.
The whole.
It was just a sad story, because she had such an awesome talent.
Tragic.
And it was tragic. And I just was really hoping she'd pull herself out, but
because she seemed like she wanted to, you know what I mean? She would keep telling her dad, "I'm going to get better," and he just loved her so much, and he wanted to believe her, but I know he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, they mentioned in the movie briefly that she had a brother. I'm like, we never get this in the very beginning. We never get to see this brother.
Okay, I don't even remember.
They don't even say nothing else about this brother.
Oh wait, the one time there was a scene with the brother when they were in there trying to get her to go to rehab. Wasn't that her brother?
No,
if she was her dad sitting down, and then I thought the other guy was her brother, because she. I'm almost positive that was her brother. So I think they showed him, because
they said he was away at school or something. So I don't know if that.
So there was a. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. When it comes out, I'm gonna have to watch it again. But I hope they come out with something that's. But I'm
like,
more
they could have showed her as a kid with her brother.
Something. I'd like to know how she started booking gigs.
Something was going on with her brother too. Like, I think he was on drugs.
I think he was added too.
They kind of alluded to her briefly. And that's all we got.
See what happens when we don't get the full story?
We don't get nothing. We're like, what is the point of this biography?
Yeah, it just didn't hit.
It did not.
It did not hit. So I'm honestly saying, now if this were like something on my favorite artists, I'm going to see it. If Amy Winehouse with her talented self is one of your favorite, then yeah, you'll want to watch it. But we're honestly recommending that you not go pay for it. We would say wait till it hits at home, maybe where it's $5.99 or even Redbox.
I'd say you was talking $9.99. I'm talking free.
Oh, I said $5.99.
Okay.
Usually after it goes to home theater, then it drops down to about $5.99.
I was gonna say, like, if it comes on Paramount or Netflix or something like that.
I could see this going to Peacock probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably where it should have went.
It should have been there.
Yeah.
Because they just half-assed it. Sorry, excuse my language.
No, and I'm wondering if they came out with this now, because you know how Beyonce did her release at the theaters, and then Jennifer Lopez, which they're saying was dismal sales, she's doing hers at the theater. So I wonder if this is the year where they're going to be doing all these music artists, either doing their concerts and you can pull it up and watch it on TV, or something else that has to do with music while the buzz is going. But it didn't help.
It just was a letdown. I saw it. I didn't even see that Harkins. I saw it at AMC. It was Tuesday. It was was it $5?
It should be $5 on Tuesdays, I believe.
Plus tax.
Plus tax. See, we don't get the tax at Majestic. That's funny. But anyways, there you have our review of Amy Winehouse's Back to Black. Don't forget that Jules and we are first and foremost on Cash App. If you'd like to make a donation, anything is appreciated. If you have a legitimate company and you would like to sponsor us, just hit our inbox. We'll answer you within 48 hours. Don't forget, we're also on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. And if you're watching Instagram and it's more than 15 minutes, they're going to cut us off. So all you have to do is go to YouTube, like and subscribe, or go to Facebook, like and follow. And plus, we're going to be doing giveaways. We're going to be doing some trivia. So it'll be from stuff that you see from watching our videos. And once you answer, we're giving lunch away to somebody, anybody who knows the answer to these questions. We want to see if you're actually watching us through and through, because we appreciate those who do. So we want to give you some flowers for watching us all the time.
She didn't even know it. Look at that. She's over here rapping.
Oh, is that rapping?
Let's wrap it up.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for tuning in to our review of Back to Black. All right, we'll see you back later here. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, you were rapping.